The word solstice, as some of you may know, comes from the Latin words sol, sun, and sistere, meaning to stand. Winter solstice then was the day when the sun stood still, or seemed to. And indeed, after tomorrow, the sun will very, very slowly at first seem to grow stronger. From that day until June 21st, when it will stand still again at the longest day of our year, and then seem to grow weaker thereafter. In northern cultures, there were lots of stories and ceremonies around this event, some to explain it. In Finland, it was said that Louhi, the witch goddess of the north, kidnapped the sun and moon and held them captive inside a mountain, causing darkness in winter. In Greek mythology, the Kali-Kantzaros were angry, hairy, gnome-like creatures who came out especially at solstice night to try and achieve their dastardly ends. But they were not very smart and could only count to 3, so villagers would put out colanders to distract the gnomes, who would try to count the number of holes and be busy the whole night through. Thank God for colanders. More ancient Celtic stories told of the Oak King, who represented the light, and the Holly King representing the dark, and their fight from which the Oak King would emerge victorious. Endless stories. And this one, the origins, perhaps very new, written by Andrus Corbin Arthun on how the Yule got its name. This is the story of the very first song. It's a true story, as all stories are, if you believe them. This story begins a long, long time ago when the earth and sun gave birth to the first beings, the first plants, the first animals, and people. It was springtime, and the sun shone warm and bright from its high perch above the earth. Proud mother that she was, the Mother Earth held and fed her newborns and relished them with tenderness and love. It was a time of joy. It was a time of great delight. The moon waxed and waned, and again in the night sky. And the children of the earth grew well and strong through summertime. They played, they danced, and the earth and the sun watched over them.
universal grandeur in singing endless praise. Here where hands and hearts are open, love is our embrace, and the beauty all around creation's radiant face. Heaven and earth by any name, wondrous gifts abound. We are merely travelers on this holy ground. Help us, Lord, to only use what we truly need, and share the bounty of the earth with all humanity. The sacred story of our lives unfolds the mystery, receiving all as blessing. Help us live each day, for love's magnificence is spoken in each season's guise, and its promises are opened in our baby's eyes. In haunting wind and children's cries, we hear your plaintive voice, called from our complacency. We must make the choice, when faithful gather in love's name, it promises rebirth. So we raise our fervent plea for lasting peace on
So our story continues. They brought their questions and their fears to the moon, the sister of the sun, for they knew not where else to turn. She closed her eyes and took a slow, deep breath and looked within herself and awoke thoughts that had never been awakened until then. She opened her soft eyes and then said, "When hope is lost, the best way to get it back is with a song. Climb the tallest trees, the biggest hills, the highest mountains, and Yule a song to reach the sun." Now, Yule is a word from one of the most ancient tongues. It's related to words like yell or yodel, and it means to call out in a song. But the first beings had never heard of a song. So once again, they sought the moon's advice. "How shall we Yule?" they asked. "How shall we sing a song?" "Take the best of what you have," she said. the best of what you are. Take what you love, what you cherish most. Take your joys, your dreams, your fondest hopes, and weave them all together in sound.
And so they did. They climbed atop the tallest trees, the mountains and the hills. They stood on all the places that would bring them closest to the sun. They shut their eyes and thought and felt the best of their thoughts and feelings, and dreamt the finest of their dreams. And as they did, their voices rang and made a bridge of song across the sky to reach the distant sun. He heard and turned and smiled and wrapped himself in all his light and presence and warmth, and sped to where the Yuling voices called. As he drew near, the sleeping earth did stir and dreamt a dream of spring. The wheel of life made its first round, and hope and joy prevailed. And ever since, that time of the year has been called Yule, in honor of the song. But the first song didn't end. It had such power, such allure, that the first beings kept singing it. And then the second beings of the earth took up the song, as did the third. And so, ever since, it has gone through the seasons and through the years until this very day. We sing our thanks to those who went before and sing our fondest wish to those who come behind. We bask in the returning light of reawakened hope and welcome Yule. At times, the song is very soft and scarcely can be heard above the din and clatter of our lives. But when Yule comes, it rises and swells in memory of that night when the sun heard and light and life were reawakened. And so do we upon this longest night gather with those we love and those who love us, and stand upon the body of the slumbering earth, and light the log with last year's coal, and lift up our voices, soaring to the sun, and join the song that was first sung so very long ago.